Well, well, well. We're back at it again. First off, I gotta say that I want to make an apology. I want to make an apology for not committing to the journey, not committing to the process, and not committing to success. We're gonna fix that. And the day is today. We're fixing that today. The theme of this journey is going to be rags to fitness. I was going to do that, but somebody's already got that. So we'll do, I like hood fit, although we did that before, but I want to disassociate myself from all the past failures and just come anew, right? So I looked at my life after watching a show called Intervention, which is about drug addiction. We're going to get into that in a second. But I kind of can relate to that. So we're going to do a business to fitness or fitness to business. I haven't really nailed it down just yet. But a fitness to business, probably. Fitness to business. Makeover. Meaning, I'm not where I want to be in my fitness life, and I'm not where I want to be in my business or financial life. So we're going to do fitness to business. And it's April. It's never too late to start, is what they say. But it's April, and look, I'm committed. As of today, I'm committed. I'm going to set goals for myself. I may not be on there every day. I'm probably going to do this every once a week. Because at the end, I want to be back in shape and financially fit. So physically fit and financially fit. And that's where we're headed. And I'm making a commitment today. And we're gonna put the gas. We're gonna step on the gas, so to speak. I don't know why I didn't come up with that, but we're gonna hit the gas this year. Like, we got 8 months left, right? And one of the things I'm gonna focus is on, the mental part, right? Because if you plan on doing anything, like I'm planning on get back to physical fitness, right? And then I'm planning on getting financially fit. It all starts with the mind, mental. It's all mental, right? So if you get your mind right, you can get your bag right. You can get your body right, right? So that's where we need to be. And I hope that you will join me in this journey. Again, I'm not going to be doing this every day, because what I want to convey, or what I want to show, is that once you make a commitment to something, whether it be your fitness goals or your financial goals, that you can achieve them. You just got to stay with it. Now, I've learned a lot of stuff over the past few years, right? So I started driving back in 2010, and I started my YouTube channel, I think, in 2014. And what I learned in those two things is, one, you can get really complacent. Like, for the last, I was an owner-operator from 2010 to 2014. I started my YouTube channel in 2014. So what I learned from 2014 on to today is that, number one, I got complacent. I put so much time and effort into my business, my trucking business at the time, and it all fell apart for various reasons, and a lot of them is my decision making, not researching enough, a lot of different things, right? That I made, that mistakes were made, in the business, moving from one state to another, a bunch of different stuff, that I didn't really do enough research that possibly could have helped me and still been in that business. But I was actually kind of happy, the same way maybe a drug addict going to jail is happy, because it allowed me to really formulate an excuse, right, to just quit. Because sometimes you get involved in something, and it's although it could be good, it's real. I mean, it could be a disaster. So it turns out that it was a disaster, and it was meant to be, because the second that I got out of that business and started just becoming a company driver, my stress level went way down, and therefore I had more time to do other things and enjoy other things. So, for example, as a company driver, I was able to enjoy the cities that I was going to, and that I've never been to. I was able to enjoy those, enjoy the food and stuff like that, because I didn't have to drive and then get on the computer and then try to find a load and then drive it and then do it again it was a lot, and then deal with the taxes and all this different stuff, right? So none of that responsibility was still there, like after I became a company driver. So that's why I said, like, you can get really complacent, and I did. I made not that much less money as a company driver as I did as an owner operator. I mean, because you got to remember, at like, I think 2014, I think the gas was, the diesel stuff was like $5 a gallon. Then it came back, and then it came down, and it's coming back up now. Or it is up again. But I'm hearing stories that a lot of these guys are having problem with freight and all of that, and a lot of it has to do with the influx of new companies and that kind of thing. Because you got guys on the internet, and I think it was a woman. You got the trucking guru who turned out to be a fraud, and then some other dude, I guess he's out of Southern California or something, and he's flashing money and all that, making it glamorous, or making it seem like you can make tons and tons of money in the trucking industry, which is, I guess, can you hit the lotto? Yeah. So, but not everybody does, right? So, but when you talk about lotto, you talk about the winners. You don't really look at the losers. So, can you do it? Yes. But like, the planets have to align and all that. Because even still, I watched a YouTube story about this guy. He makes a couple $1 million a year, but I was like, okay, me being an owner operator, I know, what the behind the scenes stuff is. And I was like, well, how much of that is take home? And he ended up revealing that it was somewhere between, I think he said 6 and 8%, or 8 and 10%. I think it was 6 and 8%, right? Which is true. So out of that 2 million, you're getting less than 10%. So let's see, that's like 100, maybe 120, 30, $40,000, like that. That's all you get to the business itself. That's the only profit. $2 million to make 140,000. That's insane. So, I watched the intervention, right? And it helped. So, like, you have to, like, come to terms, right? I came to terms with, being an owner operator. I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. But you have to do the same thing with all aspects of your life. If you are on drugs, you have to come to grips with, hey, this is ruining my life. Or you have to be honest with yourself. Nobody likes to be accountable, right? Some of my relationships, right? I point out, I try to hold them accountable. They don't want to do it, and then it goes. It's just, nobody wants to be wrong. Listen, nobody's perfect. I'm here to tell you that nobody's perfect. Look at my channel. I've started 15 million times, and haven't necessarily been as successful as I wanted to. Have we achieved some success? Absolutely, in the fitness world, right? But in terms of where I want to be, it's not where I want to be, right? So we have to go back. We have to be honest with ourselves, and we have to, answer the hard questions. Are you as physically fit as you want to be? If the answer is no, like it is with me, we're going to do something about it. Are you as financially fit as you want to be? For me, the answer is no, and we're going to do something about it. And we're committing to it. We're committing to it today. So, and a commitment doesn't necessarily mean that you have to run and, jump out the plane without a parachute. It just means that you commit to taking steps and making constant progress. So, for example, I'm drinking 3 of these a day. Have I been drinking 3 of those a day? No, but I'm committed to drinking 3 of those a day. Now, however that works out, whether I wake up in the morning, drink half of one, wait an hour, drink another half, every 2 hours I'm drinking a half a bottle, it's only 3 of them. So you just got to spread it out over the day. That's one thing, right? Now, also, I'm committing to a fasting schedule, right? Because number one, water's like, it's so important. I don't even have the words for it, right? The second thing is, upon my research, you only burn fat while your insulin is low. So that's what the importance of fasting is. Now, when you fast, you can make a commitment to fast. You don't necessarily have to make a commitment to food choices yet, right? As long as you say, hey, this week I'm going to focus on getting my water intake and fasting, which is what I'm going to do, right? That's my focus. We're not even talking about working out yet. We're not even talking about food choices yet. Make a commitment to water and, what does that say? Water and fasting, okay? Make that commitment. Get used to that, because you want to treat your brain like a 3-year-old, right? So you want to feed it small portions, right? So, tackle your water. It doesn't even have to be fasting. You could tackle your water this week and tackle your water next week. The point I'm trying to make, though, make a step and make a weekly step, right? If you do the water this week, do the fasting next week. Do the fasting this week, do the water next week. Whatever the case. Also is very important. Sugar. These are things that you don't have to really put a lot of effort in, right? You could make a commitment to not eating sugar, right? Or limit your sugar. You can make a commitment to get your water. You can make a commitment to put a fasting schedule together. And when I say fasting schedule, I just mean put together a schedule where you allow yourself to eat during this window, right? So let's say you get up early in the morning, or whatever and you can formulate your schedule however you want to do it, right? So let's say that you want to say, okay, I'm going to fast from 6 p.m. to 10 a.m. So when you wake up in the morning, 10 a.m., you can have breakfast, right? And then at 12, whenever you get hungry, whatever, you can have your lunch. And then you can have your dinner sometime before 6. I would do it as close to 6 as possible. And then throughout that time, you're focusing on your water, if you want to do that, right? Focusing on your water, because that'll help with hunger, right? And especially at night. So if you go to sleep early, I would suggest you make an early cutoff time. So your fasting schedule will be 6 p.m. to 10 a.m., right? Or you could call it your eating window, is what they call it also, which would be 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Whatever's easiest for you, right? Whatever mentally floats your boat, right? However you do it, right? It's a mental thing, right? So if you do that, you'll see, like over that week, when you focus on that, you'll see a difference. Especially if you severely cut out your sugar, right? Now you're gonna get cravings. You're gonna have all these different things, right? Your body's gonna kick and scream like a spoiled little child. But a mental commitment to your fitness, and you take these steps. Again, it doesn't have to be all at once. what I'm gonna do is focus on my sugar. I know I didn't. Sugar is awesome. That's why I'm even saying this right now. Even though I didn't say it at the time or in the beginning, I'm adding that, right? So I'm gonna severely cut out my sugar, water, and then the fasting schedule, right? I've done it before. Matter of fact, I did it earlier this year. Some things changed. I had some employment changes. I had some bunch of changes, and things get changed and all that, and then things fall apart sometimes, right? So things got got away from me, and then we're bringing it back. So nothing wrong with that. It happens. They say that's why I kind of like relate, fitness and weight loss and stuff like that to, that show Intervention, right? Because you look at them, they may even seem normal on the show, right? But your family notices, right? And look, you have to come to terms with it. You can't fix a problem you don't admit to. If you don't like, the reason why I like that show is because I like to put myself in those shoes. Am I being that person? That person is ugly, right? In that everybody else says you have a problem except for you, right? Listen, you're not being honest with yourself. So, am I being honest with myself? Do I have a problem? Yes. What's the problem? I'm not as physically fit as I would like to be. Okay. I'm not as financially fit as I would like to be. Okay. What are you going to do about it? First thing you have to do is make a commitment. And that's what we're doing today. And I hope you make the same commitment. So we're going to do at least a weekly update. Because I don't want to do like I did before, do this daily thing, whatever. I might just pop up and just, a motivational type of deal. Maybe let you know what my progress is or whatever. Are we still on? Are we not on? Just pop in, say hello, hey. But, we're not going to do like a daily thing. We've done it. We tried it before. It doesn't work. So, I might do like a weekly progress report also too, like, pictures, whatever. I'm right now probably 220, 215, 220. I haven't even jumped on the scale. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to implement a weekly scale schedule too. I'm making a commitment today. Even though I don't have a scale, we're still making a commitment. So you don't even have to have everything in place, whatever. All you need to do is this. Make a commitment today, right? And I've been talking about fitness, but it's also with your financial fitness, right? I'm starting like 5 businesses, most of them e-commerce. There's one that is, I guess, quote unquote, brick and mortar, even though there's no bricks or no mortar. And I'll explain that at some point, but I'm starting like 5 businesses, right? As you can see, if you've been following my other channel, we do a lot of politics over there. And it's basically balls and strikes. Like, I'm not a Republican or I'm not a Democrat, because I talk bad about both of them when it's appropriate, and I give credit where credit is due. But we have a shop associated with the hoodtrucker.com, and we do TikTok, we do a bunch of other stuff, and we have shops associated with that. We've been doing that. It wasn't necessarily successful, but we're going to try some other things to try to make it successful. Okay. And we've committed to that too as well. So I just baby steps. Once you get comfortable with the baby steps, then you increase the steps. Like, for example, I used to hike, and one of the teachers that I had, or instructors, that was instructing me on how to hike, like really, really steep mountains. He told me, if you stop, you're in trouble. So don't ever stop, right? As much as you want to stop, do not stop. Because as little as your steps are, you're still moving. You're still progressing. So if I completely stop, I'm not progressing. If I choose to step 1/8 of a step that I've previously stepped at, it's still 1/8. It might take me 8 times to equal 1 step, but it's still a progress, right? It's still, that machine's still turning, right? So I learned that, excuse me, I learned that in doing YouTube, right? I have certain videos that for years, like, less than 100 views. Boom! All of a sudden, I got one that's 500,000 now, right? So I had no idea. And, like a lot of times when you don't really see progress or whatever the case, you give up. I've been guilty of that too. But we're going to make a commitment to stay the course, right? Take baby steps. Listen, get the water. That's, a gallon is 3 of these, right? So we're going to shoot for a gallon a day, right? Like they say a gallon's too much, whatever, but I'm 200, in the 220-ish range right now, right? I would like to be 195, 200, right? That's not a drastic, that's not a like a ridiculous goal. 25 pounds maybe, right? So, and the other thing I watch sometimes is 600 Pound Life, and along with other shows. Matter of fact, I was watching Intervention, and they had a lady on there that had an alcohol problem, and she also had a weight problem, but she had the alcohol problem after the weight problem, which says she transferred her addiction from food to alcohol. And so you kind of have to deal with that. And that's why you have to be accountable. That's why you have to be honest with yourself and look in the mirror, right? So she went and had gastric bypass, which is a surgery to limit what you eat. I said, you know what? You can do the same thing with fasting. So you don't have to go under the knife. There's all kinds of post-operation issues that occur that you have to constantly monitor and all that. Listen, forget all that. Just fast, right? And cut your sugar out. And then when you get used to that, add in exercise. Listen, make it easy on yourself. Don't have these 90-day, 30-day, 2-week, whatever goals, whatever. Listen, just start the thing. Don't even think about time. Because look, I was doing fasting earlier this year, actually, right around January. And I was losing half a pound a day, right? Here's the thing. You'd be surprised if you cut out sugar and you fast, which means that you squeeze the time that you actually eat and give your body a chance to recover the rest of the time. You'd be surprised what happens. You'd be surprised how your body fixes itself. You'd be surprised how just simply getting out of a dehydrated state can affect your overall physique. And look, I was convinced. I had some changes and shook up some stuff, and then, started getting some good food and all that. And then, one thing led to another. But we look, we still can enjoy food. Just look, cut out your sugar, and put yourself, formulate yourself an eating window or a fasting schedule, whatever you want to call it, and get your water. And I'd be willing to bet. I can't make any promises, but I'd be willing to bet that you'll see obvious and recognizable changes for the better if you just do one of those 3 things. But if you do all 3 in the first week, get acclimated to being used to that, because we're a species of habit, right? And if you do that, right, get in the habit of doing that, that's locked in, and stay locked in. Now, add in exercise. Now you can add in some supplements, right? Because if you trying to build muscle, especially at our age, I'm 53, right? And I said our age, like, because most of my viewing audience is in upper age, right? So people above I'd say above 35 actually. There's a lot of old looking 35-year-olds, right? So 35 and up, really. the nutrition is not there, whatever, and then you try to build muscle during that time. I mean, in terms of males, testosterone production goes down, so therefore, like repairing the muscle, soreness, all that kind of stuff. You kind of like, I mean, it's almost like you almost have to supplement with extra protein, which whether it be shakes or they have protein pills or however you get your protein. You have to do that, right? And it just makes it healthier, and it gets, because look, at 53 I do too many push-ups. I got rotator cuff stuff, right? Some of that could be hydration, because if you're not hydrated, it's like working out with beef jerky muscles, right? You're gonna pull something, right? Because it's not elastic. It's not dried up, but you know what I'm saying, right? The more water, because your muscles are mostly water, and the more water you have in your muscles, the less likely you will damage them. So get your water in, get your fasting. Oh, fasting also promotes growth hormone too. So all of that scientific. Your body's crazy. It's gonna kick and scream, but it's an awesome machine if you feed it the right stuff and do the right things to it. You'll look great. So what we're going to do, we're going to make the commitment today. We're going to hit the gas on this stuff. I'm doing the 3. I'm doing the fasting, the water, and the sugar, right? I'm starting 5 businesses this year, and mostly e-commerce, and we're learning about that stuff, right? It's not rocket science, but there's a lot to know. Just like driving a truck is not rocket science. It's just a lot to know. Like, it really took me 6 months just to act like I know what I'm doing, and then it took me 2 years to get comfortable, right? So look, some of this stuff is, you're gonna fumble, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna relapse, whatever, right? You're gonna overeat your window, and you're gonna say, oh, I just, whatever, it's the time, and then, I didn't get a chance to eat today, and all this, right? You're gonna have some screw ups, but everybody screws up, right? And that's why I have to tell these people in my relationships, like, okay, you screwed up, like, just admit it, move on. But some people can't admit it. But anyway, so with that, I'm just letting you know that we're getting back on the wagon, or the truck, or the whatever you call it, right? We're back, and we made a commitment, and we're gonna see this thing to the end this time. So hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, get on board, walk with me during this journey. We're gonna get it. I mean, we're gonna make it happen. Like, I'm not playing, right? We're gonna make it happen. So join the commitment today, because I got, at the end of this, I got a little surprise. Once we get this done, which, look, 6 months, if it's 6 months, like, if it's 3 months, whatever, we'll see. All right, but at the end, we're gonna have a surprise, and it's gonna be a pleasant surprise. So with that, enjoy the rest of your day. This is the Hood Trucker for Hood Trucker Fitness.